Hi everyone, trust you all are doing well. So we finished up in the previous episode of actually our create view, this one right here, that actually returns from the form, the route, admin.store. Okay, so we get to this one right here. Then we're going to basically just return the request to see what we get. Now, as you can see, we've got our input values, the cover image, title, body, published ad, type, tags, and all the other fields. All right, so let's quickly create our custom request. All right, so I'm not going to use this request. I'm going to create our own request to handle our validation and its own separate class. All right, so open up your terminal. All right, and we're going to do PHP artisan make request, and we're going to make a post request. All right, then we press enter. All right, so as the request is successfully created. All right, in order to get to that request, we go to app HTTP request. You will see we got our post request right here. So the first thing we need to change is the authorize. We're going to set this one just to true. All right, then we have the different rules. All right, the first one is going to be our title. And this field is going to be required. And we can set a max to, let's say, 100 characters, like that. And the next one is the body. And I'm going to make this field required as well. Okay, and then we have a cover image. Okay, let me just move this up because the reason why I'm doing this, I'm just repeating myself, is just for you guys to easily see everything. Okay, so I'm just going to make this field nullable. The reason for that is let's make it sometimes. In this case, let's just make it sometimes. Because if we're going to update the image on the post, we might not change the image, but we only might change the content or the title or anything else. But when we create a post, we're going to require the image. But I'm going to use HTML validation to actually make sure that we get the cover image. All right, so the cover image, and then we're going to make it an image. That's part of the thing. And then we're going to set the MIME types. It needs to be a PNG and an SVG is also okay. So we can set those two like that. All right, I'm not going to set a max value. If you want to basically, not max size, if you want to set a maximum size for the image, you can put it like here. Let's say you say 4 meg, you can put it like that. Okay, but I'm not going to put anything in there. The next one that we have in here is we've got the cover image. The next one, let's just check the post model. Right, so we got the title, body, cover image, published ad field. Okay, so let's do that. Right, I'm going to make this one required as well. Okay, because we need to know when they need to publish this post. Right, the other one is the type. Now the type field is going to work a little bit different in the validation. We're going to do a required. But remember, there's only 2 fields that we want in there. We only want the standard or the premium. In order to do that, we can use the in. Okay, and the first one was the standard, and the other one is the premium. Okay. Right, which one is next? We've got the photo credit links, those 2. Okay. All right, so photo. All right, so I add those 2 fields, and I want them to be nullable. Okay, the next thing that we need in here is for the tags. Okay. The tags, it needs to be an array. Okay. And it needs to be, let's put it nullable, because if we need to update the post, the user might not, the author, the writer, or the admin might not want to change the tags. Okay, so the fields that we might get is nullable. All right, so let's just do it like that. Otherwise, we have to deal with errors. Okay, and we just want to check if the tags actually exist. Okay, so Let's do this. Let me just check if the tags exist. Right, and which table do they exist? We want to check the tags table, and we just want to check the ID. Right, so that's the only things we're going to check in here. And obviously the last one is the commentable, this one right here. Let's just do that, is commentable. Okay, and this is going to be a Boolean value. Okay, we need to make sure that this must be required, and it needs to be a Boolean. Like that. Okay, so that's all our rules set up. The next thing that we want to do is we want to create a couple of public functions. So this one is going to be for the author. So we bring in the user. Just make sure that you bring in the user model. Okay, this one right there. And then we're going to return this user like that. Right, so let's move on. The next thing that we want to do, I want to create methods for our title, body, cover image, all these different fields. Okay, so let's just go off. Let me speed up the video ahead, but I want to show you in a second when we get to the cover image part. But all right, we can do this in a number of ways. We've got the input, okay, like title, like this. Okay, you can do it like that, or you can do it with a get like this. Okay, and I'm going to use the get. I just wanted to show you can use both. The next one is for the body. Okay, and this is going to be a string. Turn. All right, for the cover image, just make the string optional because it might be a nullable field. Okay, and then instead of returning this .get, okay, I'm just going to do a return this cover image because it's a file and not input as per se value. Okay, just make sure you return it like that. The next one that we want to work with, we got the cover image, is the published ad. Right, so we got our photo credit tags and our photo credit link and our published ad field. Right, so we got all of that. The next one, we got the author. The other one is the type right here. Add that. Right, just make sure you include the type. And the last one that we have on the list is commentable. Okay, that's going to be a Boolean. Actually, we need to do the tags as well. So public function, let's do the tags actually first. This needs to be an array and return this get the tags. All right, if there's nothing, just return an empty array like that. Okay, so the next thing is the Boolean for the is commentable. Function is commentable. And we're going to set this to a bool for Boolean. And then we return Boolean. The value needs to be is. Okay, so we got it all set up. And so we got an author, title, body, cover image, type, published ad. So just pause the video and just make sure and check if all are the same. Just make sure for the photo credit, because this fields can be nullable. So just make the optional string. And then we got an array for the tags and is commentable. Just return a Boolean is commentable like that. Right, so the next thing we need to do is we need to bring it in our store method right here. We need to bring in that PostRequest like that. Okay, just make sure you import it. As you can see, mine is already imported right here. Where is it? Okay, right there. Right, so anyways, that's it for me, guys. If you like the video, please give it a like. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any feedback, comments, or suggestions, please leave it for me in the comment section, and I will see you in the next one where we're going to be able to create a job in order to process this store. All right, to create a post. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one. Adios.